This is a clouds weather alert.
Good very early Tuesday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now, coming on the air for a confirmed large tornado situation in the Florida Panhandle, south of I-10 here, west of our official viewing area. But we've seen some very serious indications with this activity over the last few moments here. Things here toward the west had been pretty nasty, but nothing to this level, a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning now in effect here around Freeport, Florida here, toward Holmes, Walton, and Washington counties here until about 5:15 a.m. Central Time. A wind gust to 106 miles an hour was reported recently by a weather stem site around Blue Mountain Beach. So let's go ahead and look at this here a little bit closer. Looking right now at our velocity product, the things look a little more disorganized, but it's right near the radar. It's also getting away from the warmer water here per se. It's not that warm this time of year, but still more instability toward the south as we go ahead and look for debris. I know we had that signature starting to pop up a little bit clearer here around Freeport just a little while ago. We're still waiting for that next debris scan here, but we'll continue to watch to kind of see how things are evolving. We'll continue to watch this situation very carefully here as the scenario does go on. I know it's going to be by energy. We have plenty of wind shear, more than we really ever see across these areas here. But it's going to be by how much energy we get. If we get the energy in play, we're going to have bigger problems here, even as we're looking through the morning and toward our area and toward the afternoon. And that could be an issue because we'll be able to destabilize maybe a little bit more toward the east, toward like north central Florida. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. The wind risk similar to toward Tallahassee and like Stark and Jacksonville. The tornado risk is lower toward the east. Maybe a lesser chance of discrete cells, but we'll just wait and see a lesser tornado threat potentially in play. But again, a tornado warning right now in play as we're looking out here toward the west. So let me go ahead and read you the information from the Weather Service in Tallahassee here. I'm going to go ahead and pop myself on camera as we're looking at our debris tracker. Again, watching this carefully down here as you see the radar site. There's your radar site. And then again, we're watching this here. I'm going to go ahead and read you the information now. They're trying to protect you, your friends, and your family here this morning. A tornado warning issued, a new one at 4:37 a.m. Central Time for southeastern Walton, southwestern Holmes, and west central Washington counties there in the Florida Panhandle. At 4:37, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 8 miles northeast of Santa Rosa Beach, moving northeast at about 50 miles an hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. The tornado will be near Eglin Air Force Base here pretty soon. I know where that radar site is. Well, that's an area there that we're watching where we have that Air Force Base area. But we see Henson's Crossroads, Red Bay, as well as Douglas Crossroad, Freeport, Knox Hill, Argyle, Rock Hill, Ponstead, Leon in here as well. As we look, the debris signature is not overwhelming, so that's a good sign because right near the radar, if this was really, really significant, you'd think it would be here. It does seem like it's showing up maybe right. I had my mouse there. Yeah, that looks pretty strong. It could really retighten, re-strengthen once again as we're watching things here this morning. As we're continuing to give you guys the very latest here to protect you, your friends, and your family. If this does really become an issue further north toward I-10, it could be a threat toward Caryville, Bonifay. As we're getting an update on this tornado warning, they have lowered the wording from particularly dangerous situation. It looks like to base confirmed here, a confirmed tornado 11 miles southeast of the Defuniak Springs, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour here. So again, watching things carefully. I know we had a gust of 60 as well reported in Walton County at Santa Rosa Beach here, but nothing like that 106 mile an hour gust we saw here a little bit earlier on near the Edward Lean Beach Access Weather Stem site there in Walton County. So it's in our official viewing area. We may not stay on really long if this kind of weakens on out for the time being, but I wanted to pop in because it still has that sign as if maybe it wants to kind of re-strengthen, reorganize here, folks. So again, we're just going to continue to track the scenario as there's I-10 here east of Defuniak Springs. Got to be really mindful, and this could definitely get extended. It's moving pretty quick here, this pattern. Favorable for these storms to move very quick today, so you really got to be on guard. Charge those devices. Talking about our local viewers here, if you're tuning in as well, toward north central Florida and toward our other zones. I'll go ahead and pull up our coverage map, in fact, to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. Our local viewers, charge your devices because we could have these storms here coming on in. In fact, it could be a situation here as we're looking at things where we end up having a situation where you lose power, maybe because of the stronger gust in this pattern wind advisory, high wind warnings in effect here, very unusual toward the Big Bend coastline there. Second one ever by Tallahassee's office. The last one was last month, ironically, there toward Taylor County and the like, toward that part of the viewing circle. I believe it's Taylor and Dixie. Didn't verify as much as it could have, maybe, but this has been a scenario we've been talking about for a while, and we want you to charge those devices because this could be a situation here where we have problems in terms of just the overall getting the word out here, because the wind out ahead of the storms here, right out ahead, could knock out the power and you get a tornado warning, and you might not have maybe the means to be alerted. So keep that in mind. That's why you want to have multiple ways to receive alerts here today. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up our graphic source here. In fact, let's go ahead and pull that on in. You'll be able to see what we're talking about here. You can see tornado watch, which we have out just out west of our area, not our counties yet, but that tornado watch here out toward the west, it is going to go, it looks like here as I'm looking, it was issued way earlier here. I'm going to scroll back pretty far. I know we have this coastal flood warnings and the like in play over the Big Bend coastline there, but tornado watch until 13Z, which would be that'd be 8 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Central. So that's probably when we'll get the new one here toward the east as things escalate toward our local counties later this morning. But just make sure you stay tuned for the latest charge. Your devices have multiple ways to receive alerts. You want to have maybe battery-powered ways to receive alerts. I mean, cell phone can help here, but even a weather radio, maybe, I mean, if you have it on hand. If you don't, it might be kind of late to go out and buy one. But the point is, I know a lot of schools are out today, so a dangerous situation here. A tornado warning means a tornado has been detected using radar or spotted, so you want to try to avoid taking steps to a mobile home in these instances. Really, when a tornado watch is issued, I mean, you now even be thinking about where to go, but when you have a tornado watch issued here and this type of setup, these mobile homes really aren't the best places to be, even from the stronger straight line winds, which could gust here 70, 80 miles an hour within that line. If it really gets going to that destructive type of forcing, you just want to get as many walls there between you and the outside as possible. I'll put a bicycle helmet on to protect yourself from flying debris, a football helmet on, a baseball helmet on, something to protect yourself. I have those shoes on here as well. So a nasty situation that we're tracking here. We're monitoring things very, very carefully here in the Weather Center. Again, it's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family here this morning. Trying to give you guys the very latest. I know we have some other information to pull up now for our local viewers as we keep our eyes on that situation there on the Doppler technology. But this is a threat here as we're looking at things, toward our local counties here. Tallahassee, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the worst there toward Leon County. It looks like they can kind of extrapolate out a little. Couldn't put just everybody on here per se. As we're looking out right now, no rule debris signatures showing up there on that storm out toward the west there, Holmes, Walton, and Watson, which is good news, but that could change quickly. I know the instability more toward the south here as we're watching things. But again, toward our local counties, I mean, there's a threat to some degree before we have the wind advisory, high wind warning potential in play here with those gusts already pretty high. But I know this is when things are really going to focus, the coastal flood alerts as well. But 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. toward Tallahassee, Live Oak, and Suwannee County, that general area, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. the worst. This is really when you want to hunker down here, per se, and start between 1 and 5 p.m. So we're just going to keep watching. Okay, that debris signature is becoming clearer again, it looks like. I want to make sure, and this is a tricky situation because it looks like it's popping back out, and sometimes the velocities are a little bit not co-located, and I think it's just an issue here with the radar. I think it's actually a tornado. Okay, this updated where the debris is. So let me go ahead and jump back on over here, give you guys a look at that. I think that'd probably be the best thing to do here at this point in time. So again, we're watching the situation very closely, getting you guys the latest updates here in toward the Weather Center. Again, there's your debris signature right there where the mouse is. You can see that there. It's moving toward the interstate, so you may want to pull up some traffic cameras here over the next few minutes here. Ponce de Leon needs to watch this, making a new tornado warning here pretty soon. for that area. In fact, I probably need to go ahead and start trying to get a traffic camera because of the speed of this here. So quick. So let me go ahead and, again, we're watching that carefully here. I'm going to make this full screen for a moment so you guys see what we're talking about here as we continue to watch things again here on this Tuesday morning, the 9th here of January. We talked about this thread here back late Thursday with pretty significant type of wording here, trying to get that message out. And we just thank you so much here for watching this morning on the different platforms. Let me go ahead and see those traffic cameras, see if we can get something, because there's a lot of them out there. If we're not losing power to those, we should be able to get a look at what's going on here as we're looking at things, out there around Ponce de Leon. Again, Tuesday morning here, we're tracking things very carefully. Again, tornado warning continues for an observed again tornado, Holmes, Walton, and Washington counties. So not for Definiak Springs, this particular cell, but let me go ahead and see here on radar as I'm getting those cameras up, and it is just a new warning. This is kind of out ahead. It was a cell we were watching in the Gulf of Mexico, and again, it produced a gust over 100 miles an hour here. By far the highest gust we've had from this event, one of the higher gusts you ever see on a weather station. In fact, outside of a hurricane, 106 mile an hour gusts, folks. So you got to really charge your devices to the east, whether that was from the tornado or just a cell. That's a little unclear. They're going with a base confirmed as this heads toward the interstate here, folks. A tornadic scenario here this morning in the Florida Panhandle. It's outside of our area here, but it's a situation that it was really getting concerning. I know not quite to like tornado emergency level here per se. We've never actually, as far as I'm aware, had a tornado emergency before in Florida. We didn't with this one, but one level below here when we were coming on the PDS tornado warning. So again, there's your debris signature. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that community there. But you can see there, that's where this is really at here, east of that, moving up toward Ponce de Leon and toward I-10 east of Definiak Springs there. If you know anybody driving out there this early hour, they don't need to be driving here in toward that vicinity here as we're looking at things, as we're watching the overall situation. Okay, it looks like some of these cameras are not working there, but I think there may be one, in terms of a live view I should say, but there may be one toward the west. You can be able to see how nasty things look. Yeah, it looks really nasty off of this. So let's go ahead and pull this up if we can. This is Florida 511 perspective for everybody. It is very nasty looking out here. Right where this is kind of headed, Ponce de Leon here. I didn't look like we had any live views, but it's just to the west. It definitely could be in that region here of concern, as you do see some folks getting by. But this Florida 511 perspective right now telling this story. I-10 there at mile marker 88.9 westbound. Looks like they're maybe indicating west of Panther Creek is what I'm going to assume there by that abbreviation. So, again, watching things very careful. We're just going to go ahead and monitor things here this morning. As you can see, the nastiness here is weather alert. This is west of the viewing area about a little ways in the Florida Panhandle, but we're seeing indications there could have been a large tornado on the ground. So, wanting to jump in here this morning. Again, you see these nasty conditions here. Let's move away from this shot for the time being as I try to effort some more views here. Again, don't want folks driving out here this morning if they can help it. These inclement conditions here at the best, but really dangerous here at the worst. So, again, that's one viewpoint there right now. And we're just going to see the situation as it does develop. I know there's another view a little bit further off here toward the east. There's a row of cameras that we just don't have the live views from right now. Unfortunately, there'd be still views. It probably wouldn't help too much at this time of night. But let's go to the Florida 501 again. There's some views here of either power flashes, lightning flashes, something like that here this morning. Definitely, even there could just be some of the car lights too. Reflecting a bit, but again, just giving you guys an idea of what's going on. Probably a mixture of everything, really, in that regard. But we're just gonna continue to monitor this here. Let me go ahead and move away right now from this side. I know it's not the most detailed out there, but let's try to get an update. Make sure our debris tracker is keeping tabs on this. Yeah, that's the last scan. It should be getting a new update here soon. Yeah, that rotation be right near the interstate there right now on Ponce de Leon. A new tornado warning going out here until about 5:30 this morning. So a new tornado warning here in effect right now. This will be moving into southeast Alabama here over the next little bit. And let's kind of zoom out. I don't know if it'll hold together with the instability lacking this far up, but I know it could try to make a run at maybe Quitman County, somewhere in that general region in southwest Georgia later on. We shall see. But okay, so we're just continuing to get the latest updates. So let me go ahead and kind of read things here right now from the National Weather Service office in Tallahassee, giving us the very latest here this morning. At about 4:56, a tornado-producing storm was located 10 miles east of Definiak Springs, moving northeast here at about 50 miles an hour. So damaging tornado, quarter-size hail. Many rural areas here of eastern Walton, Holmes, and north central Washington counties, including the following locations: Miller Crossroads, Henson Crossroads, Caryville, Westville over toward Barker's Store. It looks like the Whitehead Crossroads area, Bethlehem, Prosperity. Kind of getting the idea here of what's going on this morning with this. I know it's kind of maybe a high precipitation supercell. So interesting here. This is set up. I think the rotation's weakened some. It gets further up to the north. I did notice the instability. There was some out here in the Panhandle. Let me kind of switch over to another mode. It really slacks off. We have another storm here. It looks like that could try to take advantage of things here a little bit off toward the east. So let's go ahead and switch over if we can right now. I'm going to switch the box over to our GeoEarth computer. And you can see the tornado watch in the yellow here. You see severe thunderstorm warnings in the yellow boxes in themselves. Those are for, looks like 70-mile-an-hour winds toward the south and 60-mile-an-hour winds toward the north. But this storm out here, it looks like one that bears watching west of Panama City. There is where it may be headed ultimately as we're looking at things. But this is what we've been watching rotation near Ponce de Leon last little bit. Rotation over the last hour. You can see how that tracked right through the Freeport area. And this one, well, that may be actually headed a little bit further east there. May not want to lay your guard down on Panama City, then looking at that trajectory on that mode. So it looks to be one where that angle of it could make it track dangerously close toward Panama City. Let's kind of get an idea. It's moving northeast at about 55 knots, and let's see, about 60 miles an hour. So yeah, it's only about 20 minutes from the coast. That's how quick these are moving here, folks. You got to take this situation seriously here this morning. Tornado watch and play for a reason. The instability, you see it in the blue, but a lot of that staying to the south. If we had these numbers, these oranges and yellows to the north, we'd have problems. So even a little bit's going to be a problem with this type of shear setup. I mean, if you have too much, you could get too many storms to form, and then you might not be able to get stuff to kind of connect. I mean, almost in a way, some areas maybe you've had too much shear to get things to organize, but that situation, you really got to bear watching because it can be very serious. The level of shear that we have around is one that can lead to very significant tornadoes. So we really need you guys taking this situation seriously for our local counties, which started Liberty, Franklin, Quitman there, as we're looking at things this morning. Again, continuing to give you guys the latest updates here. Our significant tornado parameters. You never see values like this hardly around our area. That's why if you get any instability, you have problems, especially the discrete storms for a tornado threat here in play. I mean, that purple is 6 on our STV tracker here, STP significant tornado parameter tracking information. So this is moving there up around the interstate, and we didn't have camera to be right at Ponce de Leon. But it looks like that latest scan here might have it going just east. And let me see here. I know it's so high precipitation. I think it just passed over that area there just toward Ponce de Leon more than anything, maybe the east side of town. So just kind of for reference there here this morning. I look at some of our traffic systems. I know I'll look at one of our cameras here that's closest. Again, some of them are offline and getting a lot of flash. I think that might have been more car lights there even. As we're looking closer toward Westville there this morning as you're watching rotation tracker and the like. I know we're going between a bunch of stuff here, so a bunch of our different weather computers. So I got to kind of coordinate. We're doing something a little bit different with the double box here this morning, so I'm kind of looking at my other monitor up here too to make sure we're showing you guys the right thing. So let's go ahead and go back over to GR level 3 though at this point. Again, looking for debris. We don't see anything definitive right now, which is good. So we'll keep watching this here. You see Geneva County could be in the path later. I know this stuff out toward the west, we've had some confirmed tornado warnings, but nothing with the reports like what we saw out there toward Walden County with a gust to 106 there this morning. That's something to kind of keep in mind. But it still could be pretty serious wind out here. West of Mobile, you see areas there around Pensacola into the severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-an-hour winds. Let's check power outage numbers here. I'm going to go over to our source and get an update on those here in just one moment as we continue to watch the situation here. In fact, let's go ahead first. I want to just break down the differences here in some type of severe thunderstorm situation. So we'll take graphics full. Considerable damage possible at 70-mile-an-hour winds in this type of scenario. And that's where we're at right now. You get an alert on your phone if it was for 80-mile-an-hour winds. But looking at power outages in Florida right now, we have seen a pretty big jump in Walden County, which is concerning here, folks, considering we had a tornado go across. So I know they were an area that was kind of spared for what it's worth in Hurricane Michael compared to the counties in that region toward the east. But it still is a county here at the coast that can be vulnerable to future hurricanes threats here. And you have that instability a little bit more so toward the Gulf. And then a tornado situation, water spout coming up as a tornado at points. And just even, it might have been, to speculate a little here, might have been a rear flank downdraft, even something to that effect here with not the actual tornado providing those extreme winds here on this morning. But let's go ahead and pull up our power outage map here for the state of Florida. 16,159 customers in the dark right now, according to poweroutage.us here. So again, just continuing to check things. Okay, they're expiring the one tornado warning for Holmes, Walden, and Washington, but they're keeping the other further up toward the north until 5:30 Central Time would appear. I know at 5:08 Central Time, 6:08 Eastern Time, if you're wondering. I'll pull that Eastern Time clock up really quick. I just didn't want to confuse people off toward the west here that are watching the Central Time Zone when we mainly are focusing on that. But again, looking at this poweroutage.us map here right now, it's kind of a look. You see Leon County, a few thousand, maybe some of those winds out ahead here, causing some issues. Gadsden County, and you look at Jefferson County there, and a lot of schools are out today across our region, anticipating a furthest threat here. Looking there out toward Walden County, over 7,000 customers in the dark here at this point. So that's cause for concern as we're looking at things, as we're monitoring things here this morning. We're definitely going to try to give you the latest. You see a few hundred customers out in Washington County here. So again, I'm just trying to give you guys the very latest here as we're looking at things. In fact, let me go ahead here as I look at some more information. We're gonna just keep on watching the situation here this morning as it does progress. I know you can see that criteria again that I was just going over here in our computer system, and I want to check some of those winds out ahead a bit here. I know that, wow, that's really nasty looking off of Panama City, which could track closer to Panama City based on some of my latest assessments here. I'll pull that up here in a second. Now, there's a lot going on, so bear with me here as we're looking at things. Just a one-man band as it always is here in the Weather Center, but it's all about protecting you, protecting your friends, and protecting your family here this morning. Again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Again, displaying our GR level 3 computer. You see the current tornado warning for Holmes County. A lot of precipitation with that here. But I do think the circulation's weakening some. So that's some good news. It's around Caryville, so take shelter. West of Bonifay. Bonifay, part of your area is under the tornado warning, so take shelter. But as you look here, this could be one that's really a cause for concern by itself in this type of significant tornado parameter environment. Maybe it doesn't make it too far inland, but if this hits any around Panama City, you could have big problems. So heads up, because it was looking like on our rotation track or Surrey Pride, the track was closer toward the Panama City area here. So we'll just have to watch. I know this track right now has it going right toward Panama City Beach within the next 20 to 30 minutes. That could be cause for concern out there. As you see, the winds 34 Augustin and Tallahassee, 33 Gadsden County, 38 there on Bainbridge, 18 Thomasville area. You see gusting to 20 range here around Bradford County. It looks like, I know we have a anemometer at 6 feet here. It wasn't gusting as high as what you get higher up. Obviously, you're not going to get those type of winds to reach, but I'll go ahead and look toward that right now here in the Weather Center. As we look currently, gusting only at 5. We had a gust of 12 earlier, but again, that's only at 6 feet. The highest gust we've really seen on that before in that 40 range during Hurricane Nicole here, going back to 2022. Of course, we're now in 2024, January, that El Nino pattern giving us problems here this morning as we're trying to give you guys the very latest information to keep you guys safe. Again, hours away from Stark, Gainesville, really getting the impact of the rain and the wind from the storms directly. Still that wind advisory though in play here as we look at things. I don't have that on here because that would really clutter things up. We have the coastal flood alert, the high wind warning, and the like trying to come on up in certain spots here. But again, just to break things down again for the Stark area, let's kind of go full again, or other areas of our region if you're tuning in here this morning. Again, you have red for Tallahassee, Live Oak, and you also have a Stark here, all in that red. Again, the worst of the storms here, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Tallahassee, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Live Oak, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the Stark area. So, kind of giving you guys a timeline on what to anticipate here today. As I know that rain threat, I know this is going to be a storm that is impacting the whole eastern seaboard. Really, you see the rain threat, not terrible for our area, more so. You see western North Carolina up toward New York, the tri-state area. And it could really have problems with storm surge even up there. We have that threat toward like areas around Horseshoe Beach, even a few feet of that coastal inundation here we're expecting. But as you look here, I know New York they could have a lot of power outages up that way as well. I know clutter.com/radar gives you an interactive look at things as we're watching. Maybe we're not pinpointing the storm that you want to look at, or when we're not on. Going to be on a lot today, I would suspect, unless we get really lucky with this setup. We even have backup systems in case we lose power. Make sure you charge your devices, though, as we're looking at things. I know I want to go over the outlook here while we have a chance. So let's go ahead and do that here. Let's go ahead and kind of go over our SPC outlook if we can. And we'll just keep looking at everything that we have in terms of the graphics. But there's, again, those winds out there. But as we look here at our information, you can see what the SPC information is. In that orange area, an enhanced risk of 3 out of 5 danger here. That includes really our entire area. As we're looking at things, you really never hardly see that. I know not quite to that level, but I know, or at least reminds you of it. Once you're actually, some notations here indicate maybe a little bit higher than we had on a high risk day back in 2017. But there's some of the factors we're hoping don't come quite together as bad as that fateful day was toward areas like Adel and Albany. But we got to really pay attention, folks, because that potential is there if things really set up the wrong way for this to turn deadly today. Mobile homes are really dangerous places to be. But there's your enhanced risk here, that base for tornado threat in some areas. You see that off toward Tallahassee, the 10% in the in toward the Brownness area, and then the hatched area out there, even another hatched area toward the Carolina coast. Some strong tornadoes more likely up there, but of course our viewing area, we're talking about strong tornadoes more likely Albany to Valdosta. That includes Bainbridge, areas around Thomasville, Tallahassee, Crawfordville, and then almost to Perry. You don't get that around here very often, so you really got to take this situation seriously. And then as we look here at the wind risk, you have the 30% wind risk here as we're looking at things, and you have a hatched risk for that as well. The damaging winds could get gust toward hurricane force. We already had a gust over 105 miles an hour in Walton County this morning observed, which is very unusual. So that's why we really got to watch things from the storm. But still, I mean, to have that potential on a site, whether that was from the tornado or maybe just a cell there, I don't think it was just from a squall line piece per se. It had to have been very close, if not actually the tornado itself causing that measurement to pop on up there. But again, I know we're watching things like wind directs and all that Gulf moisture trying to get in here. Now, if we get that in here, we're going to have big problems. You have the instability. I mean, that's not showing up as much as it could, though, right now. Thankfully, we don't have too much of that, but we've had just enough for problems out toward the west. If we get quite a bit of the instability here and the storms stay discrete, We could really have problems. That's why FSU canceled classes today, folks. They're very concerned. It was going to be the second day of classes here, but it been canceled because of the extreme danger that this could pose here and the worst of the threat for Tallahassee here, as we were talking about, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So really something to keep our eyes on here this morning. And let me see if there's any questions or comments here as we look at things, and let's just see what we might have going on. I know I see Marcus tuning in. Thanks so much. I know definitely a warm pattern been in, but we're going to have chilly conditions coming up soon as we're looking toward the Midwest even more. So already the snow aspect of things as we're looking up there. But I know this pattern could have even colder air coming in toward the weekend, maybe another winter storm that might be more powerful in terms of the winter side, and even a local severe threat setting up as well toward Friday here. So another threat. Gonna have to keep that logo ready, it would seem, as we look ahead. A little bit of snow in Oklahoma possibly. Let's see if this is actually reaching down toward the surface here. Yes, some snow around Tulsa now, but a lot more of that around Kansas City there. And in Iowa, Des Moines area, really getting some heavier snow, it would seem, up and toward that area as we're looking this morning. You see Chicago there, some snow in parts of Michigan. I know, talking about it there on YouTube. Comment there. Michigan winning that college football playoff national championship game last night down in Houston. They had a threat from the same storm, a tornado threat, but luckily it didn't materialize too much down there. We had a confirmed tornado off a little ways away, but not as bad as it could have been. But you see the thunderstorm threat down here. The temperatures right now, 50s and 60s. As we're looking at things, and we'll put this back in the regular radar mode here right now. Let me get back on over to this storm here that we have the tornado warning on. Let's go ahead and see what we might have. I know things are kind of tricky here in these type of situations, but that looks a lot weaker. I'd go off if it wasn't for this storm down here, but hopefully these break down here as they come closer. More of them than not. I know some of them had been breaking down, but the last one didn't. And this one, if this heads toward Panama City Beach here, or even Panama City, I know they're still vulnerable in Panama City itself from what happened during Michael in 2018 here. You got to really be on guard there this morning as we're looking at things in that area. Again, just trying to give you guys the latest here. I know, looking toward Panama City. Let me go ahead and see that rotation tracker. It's ominous. It's not always going to be perfect. It even looks like there's some hail in here, which is concerning. But there's a rotation tracker toward Panama City. I mean, it's doing even stronger rotation for a longer period here. I mean, it only goes back an hour, but my point being, the rotation out here, the blues weren't as consistent as they are with this, as this tracks toward Panama City, a more populated area. So you may need to stick with this here for a bit, even though it's not in our official area here, not that close. But as we're looking at things, our official area would be about maybe 25 miles away, but give or take at the very western edge. But again, a lot of lightning with this. At least that's waking people up to alert on maybe of a potential threat coming inbound there toward that area. So again, just tracking everything here for you. That squall line out toward the west is strong winds. You have a flash flood warning from Montgomery there. Radar indicated flash flooding up toward that area. You see some of these reds and oranges, 4 or 5 inches up there. So quite a bit of rain in that area. Really isolated areas could get more than what we were showing on that other map. We don't have the actual regular flood alerts in play. I don't think we know we've had so many. So let me just double check. We have the coastal flood warning though in play for that. A dangerous pattern there at the coast causing some issues in vulnerable areas like Horseshoe Beach and the like here. We have to watch those because of what happened during the day. Even a storm warning for the coastal waters, which is very unusual. So, okay, new warning, a thunderstorm warning that butts up just west of our area now. So that's something we need to watch here. 70-mile-an-hour winds a possibility with that storm that we're looking at there. Moving toward Dothan, so they're going away from the tornado warning, it looks like right now, and going with this type of warning till 6 a.m. Central Time for Dothan proper. 70-mile-an-hour winds, and looks like a quarter-size hail. Daleville, Cottonwood, over toward Graceville. So again, just continuing to watch that here for sure as we give you guys the very latest on what's going on. You also have you have Dothan there, you have Bonifay, Fort Nova still there. Now I know it used to be Fort Rucker as we're looking there. Hartford, Taylor, Midland City, Kinsey, Ashford, there's Slocum, over toward Newton, Webb, even toward Rehoboth there, Clahatchee, Grimes under this warning for 70-mile-an-hour winds. So definitely can knock out power in our western areas. I talked about Quitman, but this track might have it even coming a little closer, maybe even clipping ears around Blakely here in an hour, give or take. So something to kind of watch for here this morning. Tornado watch may be coming here fairly quickly off toward some of those western counties. This one, though, is a real storm to watch, it would seem. Yeah, that's not good what we're seeing on some of our information as we're looking at things. These winds, if these wrap up properly, like they're capable of doing, right as we're getting closer to sunrise, per se, too. We're talking about 60, 70 both ways. That could be winds to 140 in theory down toward the surface. And that's not a debris signature. That was just a lot of inflow, it looked like, though. And I mean, you wouldn't necessarily get a big debris signature over water. The water could pop out, though, some. But again, Panama City Beach to Panama City. You really got to be on alert for this. And it's moving pretty fast. So, again, it's kind of an unusual situation in that regard here. If this would move at 20, we'd wrap it up for a while. But, okay, they just issued a new tornado warning now as for this area. They're calling it radar indicated for now, but they're going to go ahead and have just issued this. It'll pop up here on our system in just a second. It's till 6 a.m. Central Time. It's for Bay, Calhoun, Jackson, and Washington counties here. As we're talking about the thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 9 miles south of Panama City Beach. And they want to wake people up from this. It's moving northeast at 70 miles an hour. Look how big that polygon is. I mean, next tornado warning on that could get that in our viewing area towards Seminole County. So that's why we're so concerned. This wind pattern is very volatile here as we're looking southwestern Jackson, Bay County here, northwestern Calhoun, southeastern Washington County. At 5:21, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles south of Panama City Beach, moving northeast at 70 miles an hour. Panama City and Panama City Beach potentially impacted around 5:25. Lynn Haven there, Springfield, Highland Park, Tyndall Air Force Base around 5:30. So you got to be really careful here. This storm definitely could be nasty and problematic. Moose Pond, Clarksville, St. Andrews State Park, as well as Southport here. Under this, you have Fountain, you have Cedar Grove, you have Cedar Road. You have Beacon Beach, College Station, Florida under this. A lot of precipitation on this here as well on the top end. So that's kind of odd for our area in some ways as we look at this here. And high precipitation supercell scenario here for our region as we're looking at things. Seeing 70 winds there and then about 70 the other way. And this is an area we don't generally see this in. You got to take shelter in this polygon, folks. I mean, anywhere, the biggest threat probably near the coast. I mean, initially it definitely would be. But you have areas here we're watching around Panama City Beach. You have Upper Grand Lagoon. Take shelter if you're on vacation, maybe. Lower Grand Lagoon, you got to be in shelter here. Panama City, Parker, Callaway, all take shelter here from this potential hazard, this potential threat. Let me pop this full here again as we continue to watch. Continue to give you guys the latest information here this morning as the scenario does continue to evolve. I know we're checking all of our different tools here in the Weather Center, and just want to see a new camera, unfortunately, right there at Panama City. There's one up 231. We'll keep that in mind if we need it here later on this morning. But again, a tornadic scenario here in the Florida Panhandle region here right now. That tornado potential here definitely in play. We're checking all of our different equipment here to try to give you guys the latest updates on exactly what is going on here. We're trying to let you guys know exactly what is happening here. A dangerous situation for folks, and I'm going to go ahead and just check some of our informational sources here that I am kind of able to get data off of here right now. I'm doing that behind the scenes. Again, a one-man band, but it's all about protecting everybody. That's what we're trying to do here this morning. Again, tornado warning, and we really need folks to take shelter around Panama City Beach to Panama City, and because we could have a tornado with winds over 100 miles an hour coming in. So let's remind you guys of the tornado safety tips again here. as you're looking toward this here. I know we came on for that tornado warning to the west, but now kind of having to make that, as we sometimes do, if not many times, have to do in severe weather coverage, made that turn to another storm, another area of concern. This one isn't technically confirmed yet, like that one was. It's moved up more of a straight line wind threat at this moment, but you gotta, I know we have the tornado watch in play out just to the west. Make sure in our local area, stay tuned though, as well as probably have a new tornado watch coming soon. But tornado warning means tornado has been detected using radar or spotted. Seek shelter inside that sturdy building. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Protect yourself from flying debris. Put on a bicycle helmet here. So again, we're just going to keep checking things here this morning as the situation does progress, as the situation does develop here. Again, we're watching this as it moves closer to the coast here over the next little bit. I know we have the main squall line further out, but these discrete storms are a cause for a big concern. So let's see here. Again, just continuing to watch, continuing to track things. You see our yellow boxes to the west. You see a thunderstorm warning out through areas of parts of Okaloosa County. 60-mile-an-hour winds right now. It's a little bit lower with that. That's a little bit of good news compared to what they could be out there. But in 70 off headed toward Dothan. And then we have a tornado situation that's more concerning toward Panama City over the next few moments. You see, this one's a lot weaker, a lot harder to pick out right now. It could strengthen, could recycle up toward the north there, but this down toward the south. A lot of lightning. At least it's waking people up. It is a city there. Maybe toward Lower Grand Lagoon, but somewhere between Panama City Beach, Panama City proper. We got a tornado threat in play. Could have a tornado coming ashore here, or what about coming ashore as a tornado here soon. So got to be really careful. You have Lynn Haven in this. You have, that's 231 up here. US 231. As we're continuing to watch things here this morning, as we're continuing to give you guys the latest here. I'm checking all my different resources as we try to let you guys know exactly what is happening. I know you see Lynn Haven, you see Southport there. Again, let's see, you see that main line. And that's going to be something to watch here later on. I know, just checking everything that we have at our disposal here. And again, checking our wind speeds on this map. You see 40s, you see a gust of 50, but again, we had a gust over 100 as we were looking here earlier on near the coast. Our report, I mean, you can see that popping on earlier. Our system only goes 95. That was 106 there on Blue Mountain Beach there around. It looks like, as I do the math on our time, that was 1 hour ago, so that was 4:28 Central Time then, as we're looking out there, 5:28 Eastern. But again, just continuing to watch things as we look at the current view. Look at that right there around Lower Grand Lagoon. Lower Grand Lagoon. If this can get its act together, these are the winds of 80 one way and 70 the other way. So that could be a real problem around Lower Grand Lagoon. You have to be in shelter now, because if we get a tornado down, it could be a stronger one. Can't guarantee it's going to come together, but if those winds in the opposing directions come together, we could be talking about an EF2, EF3 type tornado, and that can really cause damage. And the mobile homes, probably not too many out in this particular area, you wouldn't think, right there at the coast, but still, the structures really could be impacted. Whatever is out there could really be impacted here pretty substantially this morning as we're looking at things out toward the west of our viewing area, but it's not that far west. And again, these storms have characteristics that, unlike what we had maybe even out toward Mobile to some degree, these have higher end characteristics now in the Florida Panhandle and the Tallahassee Weather Service jurisdiction, but technically outside of our viewing area here. So again, just continuing to watch things, continuing to track here, folks, as we try to give you guys the very latest on what's going on. Again, I sound like I hear some rain where we're at. Let me double check here what's going on. Yeah, I think it's just a little sprinkle, actually, so that's kind of interesting. Our radar running just a tad back here, I guess, on because the stuff's moving so fast. But let me go ahead and pop that. I think it was a really quick passing shower. We're moving very quickly here, but also that if anybody's kind of interested there in what's going on in that regard toward like North Central Florida, you see 60s. Now, it's pretty warm for this time of year. This time of night, we can get in the mid-70s, upper 70s, closer to 80 in some areas. as we're looking further toward the south. That is very, very unusual and could be a real problem for us here later today. You see no tornado warning for this area moving toward Dothan, but we have this one with this tornado warning around Panama City, and that is cause for concern here. You just hope this doesn't come together. You don't want this to come together here as we look at things around Panama City, because look, these winds here, if this actually comes together on Lower Grand Lagoon, it'd be one of the more vicious type of tornadoes we've seen in Florida in a long time. If these winds do come together, and we might not get a debris signature until it's really caused quite a bit of damage, because I mean, a few minutes, and it's over land and it's picking up stuff, and then that's when you really see it, and it could really be a problem. Right now, you gotta be in shelter on Lower Grand Lagoon, because this has the capability, if this comes together in the wrong way. We have 86 here going toward the Raider Eglin Air Force Base. Only about 2,000 feet up, so that's a pretty accurate measurement, I would think. And then 80 the other way. We already had a tornado to the west, so the wind's over 100, so we know the atmosphere is capable of getting this down to the surface to some degree. These winds here, at least right at the coast, we could be talking about winds that are very significant here. Take shelter now, Lower Grand Lagoon, Upper Grand Lagoon. You have to do it. Goodness gracious, these winds are just outrageous here. We're not seeing a debris drop yet. That's apparent, but doesn't mean that a significant tornado is not on the ground. I would treat it as if there's a large tornado on the ground. You got to put that baseball helmet on. You got to put that football helmet on, bicycle helmet on, something to protect your head there. Interior room, put pillows there on you if you can to kind of shield yourself from the debris. Cover yourself with blankets, possibly another option there too. As you're in the interior room, a bathroom, a closet, something like that, to get in that innermost part of your home. So, again, you really have to treat this seriously here this morning. Take this situation very seriously as we're watching things here very, very carefully. Lower Grand Lagoon to Upper Grand Lagoon right now in the Florida Big Bend region. We're talking about Bay County here, folks. Again, this is very serious stuff that we're dealing with. Again, a tornado warning, but this has the capability of producing, folks, a significant tornado, a large tornado in toward this area. So we really have to be mindful. Checking, nothing confirmed yet here, but again, we're monitoring. I'm looking at all my different screens here in the Weather Center to make sure I'm not missing anything. This is very concerning. If these winds come together at the surface in the form of a tornado, it would have to be very significant here, folks. For Florida, it would have to be a real problem. Let's see, is that a new scan? Okay, they're going with a large tornado now. I don't know if they've actually confirmed it. Yeah, I think they're just really worried because, yeah, okay, this is still a red box, so they're seeing exactly what I'm seeing here. They say they don't do this very often around our neck of the woods, or any office really. It doesn't do this much, but they're going PDS on this, but it's not confirmed yet because we don't have the debris showing up here. But if it gets confirmed, it could turn really serious real quick, and if this were to pop up something here as quick as it could, folks, so we could be talking about a situation here. As it looks like we're getting a couple different continuations. Okay, they're now going observed on that. Maybe they wanted to change that wording, so maybe we're getting some type of indication now. But they want to give people the heads up. I mean, the next level is tornado emergency here, and being this is a populated area, we got to be careful. And we had a tornado 30 minutes ago reported crossing I-10 there, southwest of Ponce de Leon. So that was the other storm, though. Now, is that a debris signature here? Very well may be around Lower Grand Lagoon. The co-location's a little off, that's why, but I bet that is something that's really significant there. It could be inflow, but in this type of scenario, they did go radar confirmed now, so then you might be seeing that debris signature. And I think they're just assuming here, as I am now, that's probably debris signature. And if this takes another level, folks, Albany's been under tornado emergency before. For a situation in the Tallahassee jurisdiction, but none of the Florida areas have been that I'm aware of from their office or any other, and we're not there yet, but we're getting close. Doesn't matter, though, in terms of taking shelter. You have to take shelter right away. This is very serious stuff, folks. Again, very serious this morning. Again, take your tornado precautions in this area. Large tornado probably on the ground here in the Panama City area and Bay County. I know Panama City kind of spread that a little more than maybe you would think, so keep that in mind here in terms of that geography. Again, we're very concerned. We started off talking about the area to the west earlier. This is a different discrete cell here, a different supercell in an environment with as much wind shear as there is, and we're not even far from sunrise here this morning. This is a real problem. I mean, there's probably hail even around Lynn Haven. I wonder how high they're going in the hail. They're going to 1.5 on another storm. On this storm, they're going 1.5 as well. This looks like a pretty nasty hail core hitting Lynn Haven. This is stuff you see in the Midwest, folks. You don't see this here at 5:30 in the morning here in January in Florida almost ever. This is starting to be reminiscent here of something like what we saw back in January of 17, folks, in our covered area. We didn't really have much official coverage back then. Wasn't called cloud weather or anything like that at that point. But looking here, this is really serious stuff. As I'm looking, WGHD's reporting 1.25 in Teo, half dollar side of their TV station. They're 1 mile northeast of Gulf Lagoon Beach. So, dangerous situation here, folks. This morning, gotta take those tornado precautions pretty above you there. I bet the tornado, if it's on the ground causing much damage, I think it could be, it's probably right over that area. This is very serious, folks. Take shelter right now. I'm going to go ahead and keep looking. Keep looking at the latest information that we have. Bear with me. We're on the different platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and Twitch here right now. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a tornado emergency or not here, folks, because this is just some serious stuff, serious activity, and it can really cause problems. I know they're saying a small but volatile warm sector exists here. SPC saying that. And this air mass will likely spread into parts of southern Alabama and southwest Georgia later this morning. Sea remains extreme with the storm helicity values, and this is really getting very serious, folks. Gotta put that football helmet on, bicycle helmet on, something like that. Let's pop the tornado safety tips up again here. Seek center to that sturdy building. Get as many walls between you and the outside here as possible. Protect yourself from flying debris by putting on a bicycle helmet, football helmet on, maybe for your baseball helmet on. Very important to take into consideration. Again, really nasty stuff. As we continue to watch, continue to give you the latest. And I just give you the latest on these safety tips here that are so important as well. Okay, so again, we're watching debris tracker here, folks. We're watching the debris. That was a few minutes ago, but now it's probably up in here. It's moving that quick. And that's not debris there, but this was. But the debris is probably up in here now, give or take. So that's why you got to be really careful now. I got to wonder here that maybe, I want to, wait, maybe the next scan will tell us more than maybe a debris ball in here too. It's hard to say because I know we're on a really high resolution view. And the scan, let's see a little bit faster here. We just got a new view on SRV. Obviously, the debris ball will be very serious, but again, it doesn't matter exactly what the radar is showing. You just got to take this seriously here as we're looking. Let's see, that was the last debris scan a few minutes ago as I'm looking at more of our sources as we're looking at things here. Under the hail core, very unusual for our area. As we're looking at this, the upscale growth of this, well, I don't, okay, let's see if that's the newest view of that. Got some of that there, but again, the debris scan not updating here yet, but let's just take shelter here all around Lynn Haven to Pretty Bayou. You gotta take shelter. This is a tornadic scenario here in play. I mean, maybe right into Panama City proper, really, is where this is, because, again, some stuff looks like it's running just a bit behind. I haven't gone to tornado emergency, which I guess is the only good news right now, and that maybe haven't just seen something absolutely catastrophic here, but it's still very serious. For this time of day, folks aren't expecting this, and it makes things very serious. So, again, let's see what we're dealing with right now as we're continuing to watch. Continuing to track here. I'm going to go to our other radar source, in fact, and that's going to give you guys our GR Earth here, rotation tracker. You can see how we had that shear all around Panama City there, and we hope you took shelter as you're looking at things. I'm just checking here. The debris signature, I don't think it's as clear now, but I want to make sure. There may be something in there around Pretty Bayou. Let me go back over to our other view. Lynn Haven. Let me see. I know we have a camera still a little ways away, but it's not too far back. Let's see if is it pointing that direction. It could help us. I can go more down the road, so that's not going to help that much. I wonder if this one's pointed up a little more. Oh, it's pointing back southwest. This might be able to help us then. Okay, so apparently it's pointed southwest. So let's go to Florida 511. A little up the road still, but it's moving fast enough where let's pop it up. And you guys can see a little bit of something maybe with the surroundings. That could be lighting, could be power flashes, could be the car lights, a combination of all three here. I'm going to think that could be lighting and power flashes more than anything in the way that's oriented, but it really gets tricky looking at these traffic cameras here when it's not daylight. I mean, you have the rain on the lens and the like, but again, it's really got to be taken shelter here in this area, Bay County, Florida, but also you have from the potentially large tornado, Calhoun, Jackson, and Watson counties under this tornado warning. Again, this is very serious stuff, folks, this morning as we're trying to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, we're looking here at camera acts in there. I believe this is 231 that we're looking at here. So again, just continuing to watch, continuing to track. I'll go ahead and take that away for now as we continue to look at the Doppler scans. And the like, yes, we are on 231 here. I know it's kind of hard. I wish the camera was panned up just a little bit more here. I'm going to check a little bit closer to Youngstown here. And that camera is pointed southeast. That might not help us as much. Let's zoom back in on the Doppler here. Again, that could be something. It's messier than it was. That looks like a debris ball there, though. Well, again, it's a little bit off, but around Pretty Bayou, moving right there up toward Highland Park and Lynn Haven. Everybody's got to be in shelter. It's not the easiest thing to see on this view here in some ways. Let's go to another view here real quick, and that's going to make it even harder to see. I'm just trying to scrub a little bit here. Let's go on debris tracker and try to scrub up because some of that could be inflow in there too. The way it's right on the edge there makes it a little more deceiving, but that kind of looks like more debris lofted to me. Yeah, that looks more like lofted debris, 9,000 feet up, and that's a real problem, folks. I'm kind of surprised that that's what we're really seeing here, that they didn't go tornado emergency on this based on the population density in here. They haven't yet anyway. They could still change their mind, but right now we're somewhere around the north side, maybe of Panama City there, and you can see the latest scan. Again, there may be some inflow here that's kind of deceiving us a little. Timestamps are a little off here. It's just the way the radar gathers the data. Some scans of the radar are between reflectivity versus velocity and correlation coefficient come in a little bit ahead of the others, so it makes it harder to find out if things are really co-located or not sometimes. But again, let's go ahead and check here. I'm just checking all of our different sources again. Yeah, it looks like Elisa here of Watson. It looks like he's saying it's been confirmed visually by a chaser online, or several power flashes have been noted in the business district downtown. Maybe 2 circulations here. So that's indications that seems like that would line up to me based on what we're dealing with here, and the very volatile scenario. And it's not good here in about a populated area. I mean, it just went through Michael here 5.5 years ago. Almost, and now to go through maybe something like this, it wouldn't be as widespread, the damage, but it could still be pretty significant and severe here. And now, just thinking about what happened during Michael here, I mean, I was out there in 2018, just to kind of give you perspective real quick here, since we're still trying to gather more information on what's going on. I know, just kind of looking at everything here this morning, I know, just trying to see exactly what is going on, and we may pull up graphics here full in a second what I'm talking about here. Let's pull up radar full for a moment though, just so you get another look at this again. This is some serious stuff, very serious stuff. as we're just trying to effort everything here for you guys. Again, I mean, to give you an idea of what they dealt with during Hurricane Michael here. Let's pull up graphics full and show you. I mean, this is what they dealt with in 2018, folks, and now maybe 5 years and 3 months, almost later, we're dealing with a situation here, maybe more isolated, but damage that could be pretty significant here based on very, very, very early indications. So, again, let's just keep on watching the scenario here, and the surveyors with the Weather Service that have to get out there. Okay, they're now telling us Bay County. Let's get back over to the radar then. As you can see that popping on up here. They're now saying in the local storm report, at 5:39 Central Time, multiple reports of a tornado from spotted in the public crossing US 98 east of the Hathaway Bridge here, folks. So again, that's a nasty, nasty report. I can pull that LSR up on our other source here. In fact, there's the radar, and you don't see the LSR yet over there, but here's the OSR on the other mode. You can see it was right with the reflectivity mode, but now here's rotation tracker, and you can see how that was tracking up toward Lynn Haven, folks. And areas there eventually closer to 231. So again, you got to be taking shelter on Lynn Haven in there at this point. Sometimes radar angles may be making it trickier, and it could still have something pretty significant here down on the ground. So latest scan, yep. This is going to be something here where we're tracking it. They're around Southport. Again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Yeah, there's that looks like that's tornadic debris right over Lynn Haven now. Again, that's a little bit back behind there at points. So right now, as I'm scrubbing it, it looks like it's not, which makes me just wonder here exactly what's happening. I'm going to check some more sources, though. Again, maybe two circulations, like what our viewer was saying there just a few moments ago. At least a home's damage here as well. So I'm going to effort some more information on my end here, trying to get an idea. Now, Roy serious stuff here this morning. I know they already had some impacts further west, but in Lower Grand Lagoon, we just had, it looks like very early social media reports are showing major damage here. And right now they're going with a radar indicated tornado, but yeah, reports of house damage in Panama City. We can't show any images or anything, but I'm looking at some stuff behind the scenes. We can show traffic camera stuff, but I can't show like storm chaser images of damage, but I'm looking at some of it on social media right now here. And you can definitely see some damage in Panama City, folks. So, again, really serious stuff this morning. Again, looks like camera there might have got knocked offline near Panama City Beach even. Looks like maybe some debris maybe in the view, possibly. It's hard to tell for sure, but as we're talking live on the air, sometimes it gets a little harder when we're looking here at things. But the camera stopped, and it was already getting very significant in toward that area. Oh, yeah, we're seeing some really nasty images here. Lower Grand Lagoon. Really serious stuff, folks. Very serious. So, again, trying to effort everything we have here. Just trying to effort all of our different informational sources for you guys this morning. We have a lot going on, obviously. It's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family. So let me go ahead, though, and punch up here our other mode. I'm going to go ahead here. We just got some new alerts, so let's go ahead and see this. Okay, new tornado warning now up towards southeast Alabama, just outside of the coverage area now. So let's kind of see that. I mean, both of these are to some degree here. So again, just going to continue to watch here as the situation does evolve. Let's go ahead and punch on up here punch on up the other system. I think that would be the good thing to do here right now as we continue to watch. Again, you can see our 2 boxes, the tornado warning toward the north now for southern Henry and central Houston County. Then at 6:15 a.m. this morning, Dothan being impacted around 5:55 from a possible tornado here. Another, discrete area we're talking about. This is the one we had the tornado warning on earlier on to the south, and it's now recycling possibly. Well, that's not debris, that whole blue area there. That's just inflow there at this point. It's a lot clearer on that, it would seem right now, but this could definitely tighten up. You saw Webb in there. Webb, Alabama could be in the path of this, but a very nasty storm. And then you have this storm down here. These are very unusual looking storms for this part of the country, which is very serious, obviously. And this here, Southport over toward Youngstown. Again, this is a tornado warning. They've gone down to radar indicated. What we're doing, we're still with stuff outside of our area. So what I think we're going to do right now, and I know it's a tricky setup, but we want to get ready. It might not be long until we have local warning toward like Liberty, Gadsden, Seminole, Early, somewhere in that Rome, Clay, Georgia, Quitman, Georgia. We want to get a new stream ready. So when we get those warnings, we can jump right back in. So be alert in our western counties. Again, watching stuff, a lot of damage reported toward the Gulf Coast area here this morning, the Florida Panhandle, and a lot more damage could occur even toward our local counties here as the morning goes on. Currently, no local tornado warning, but whenever there's a local tornado warning here, we're going to be on the air with you guys to guide you through it. And the severe thunderstorm warnings, many of those will require coverage as well. So keep it tuned here to Cloud Weather. We're going to be back here soon, I suspect, probably very soon. But right now, just outside the area, these warnings, be prepared, though, for them to come into our area here very soon as we continue to watch things. Facebook, Casey Cloud Reacts here with the next stream in a little bit. Probably very soon, Facebook, Cloud Weather, Twitter, Cloud Casey. That's also X platform, of course. And then you have just so many different platforms. Again, things there like YouTube at Cloud Weather. Okay, new tornado warning now. Of course, we have Twitch and the website. But okay, observed tornado, Bay, Calhoun, Jackson, and Washington till 6:30 this morning. It's this storm here, not quite getting into our covered area yet. Then, and honestly, it looks like we're getting some type of debris back, which we're hoping we're trying to avoid here. But it's now a radar confirmed tornado again. As we're looking at things, that new box hadn't quite popped out on that mode. Has another mode here. It's moving up toward I-10 Mariana, maybe that vicinity, maybe a little east there over the next little bit. But a new tornado warning till 6:30. Tornado producing storm 9 miles northeast of Lynn Haven, moving northeast at 55. So got to take shelter there. This is a history of producing significant damage here in toward the Florida Panhandle region this morning. And it looks like it's tightening back up, folks. Obviously, if we get like a tornado emergency out here, we'll jump back in here immediately. Yeah, that looks like it's tightening back up there, and that's probably why we have a debris signature now. But again, it's moving up there toward areas there around, it looks like County Road 388. Again, you have the blue 70 one way, 70 the other way. So this could be a recipe for more problems here just west of Youngstown in the Florida Panhandle this morning. Let me see if there's any camera pointed that way. Again, we're about to wrap it, but let's see here if we have any more confirmed tornadic activity on things in terms of maybe even cameras here at points. And we're just trying to effort it. They may not be the greatest angle. Let me see this one. We saw flashes, so we're getting some rock into this camera, so this is worth pulling up. I think it's a little off toward the west, but it could be just the overall pattern here. Definitely some volatile conditions. The Florida 511 perspective here this morning. So definitely seeing that the camera's shaking around as we're looking at things, as we're trying to keep you guys safe. And you don't have tornadoes that are capable of producing injuries and fatalities in Florida, especially the fatality aspect very often. But we're down with that. We're down with that potential this morning and in the afternoon as well. So very serious as we continue to look there at the camera shots and the like. Again, we got now a confirmed tornado around Dothan. Okay. This is stuff you don't really get around here. And that's here. We may not be able to wrap this, honestly. We may just have to go straight through here. Okay, we may have to go straight through. That's a tornado. That's a significant debris signature again. May have to just kind of go in toward our local coverage here on this stream. because this is now a confirmed tornado up toward Dothan here as well. So again, that didn't look really obvious. Or they're saying radar confirmed though. I mean, there's inflow and the like, but let's see. And definitely could be some debris in there. Right on the southeast side there of town, not really in the town in terms of where the population is centered, but moving toward it looks like cohorts there, if I'm pronouncing that right. Again, that's the long US 84 as we're looking at things again. You can see around areas west of Youngstown. I have that storm there, that red. This is the one with the history of producing significant damage here, folks. And there's that debris signature again. Okay. They updated the tornado warning for Dothan. Wow, okay. Not for the tornado aspect, for the hail aspect. They're now going hail to 2.75 inches on the northern side, folks. These are supercells you rarely see in our area. These are very scary looking supercells. And I know we have instability issues still, but as we get towards sunrise, we're going to start losing those issues here, and we're losing those. Eventually, the line will need to catch up to this, or we need to get these storms cut off, because these are really going to be problems now, the way they're getting these hooks on them. This is really serious stuff, my friends. You really got to take this stuff seriously. As we look here up toward the north, let's pull up tornado safety tips again. Let's go ahead and go to tornado safety tips if we can. It's going to go full, and you can see what we're talking about there. Again, Dothan, Henry and Houston counties in Alabama, and then Bay, Calhoun, Jackson, and Washington counties in Florida here. This tornadic scenario. That's what we're down with. Confirmed tornadoes here in both areas right now. They're not considered technically, theoretically large and extremely dangerous, but again, still a big problem here. I know, just seeing here, Teo earlier again toward the TV station WJHG in Panama City. They're saying Panama City Beach. I'll be clarifying that location there. But again, going between different radars, even from the Fort Rucker, I think I see that tornado a little bit west of Youngstown right now. So again, eventually that's going to cross 231 here. Maybe closer to Fountain. That's kind of just a guess here, though. These storms are a little bit tricky in the direction here at points, so keep that in mind. Again, let me come back on camera. We'll do that then as we continue to watch. I know different information keeps coming on out here this morning, as it's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family. We're just trying to give you guys everything we can in these type of circumstances, these dangerous circumstances here, as I'm looking at all our different maps. And definitely watching that significant rotation. This is just northwest there of Youngstown. I know these don't always get co-located here, and this is where the debris was a few minutes ago, but now the circulation's up here and just crossing over County Road 388. We're trying to give you the best scans. That's why it's pulling in some of these that are a little ahead sometimes. I know it's trying to give you the best looks, the quickest scans on things, but sometimes they're not quite together. As this is going to get up towards State Road 20 here in the next few moments, it would seem. Again, maybe a couple spins in here, as we've talked about a little bit. And then maybe one back here north of Southport. As we go ahead and continue to watch. I know, getting the latest updates in. We're at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. These storms just outside of the area, but causing some very big problems. That's why we had to jump in here with the latest, as we're trying to give you guys the very latest on exactly what's going on here this morning. As we're waking up, these storms, overnight hours. For a while, things were nasty, but they were not over the top. But by the last hour and a half or so, things have really started to get over the top here. And that's what we're really concerned about. So Again, just outside of our area, but we're going to have a tornado watch, I'm sure, for our area here soon. And then tornado warnings here about the same time, probably coming into play. So, again, we're tracking everything for you. Trying to give you guys the very latest. I'm just going between all the different scans here. Let's go to the other view again. Northwest of Youngstown. Moving up toward Fountain in general, and it's going to cross over State Road 20, move into here, looks like the northeast edge of Bay County. Here over the next little bit. So, gotta take your tender precautions. Interior room away from windows. Confirmed tornado. A history of tornadic damage toward the south. With this storm and then with this storm further back earlier on, it did have a tornado warning for a little while, but we've gotten a report of a debris signature on this, and that may be something there north of Ashford, maybe, but that could just be the inflow as well. So, again, something to really be cognizant of. Again, we're watching, we're tracking things near Fountain. Gotta take shelter. Now, you see kind of a debris signature there, it looked like. Right there, maybe? That's right there near State Road 20. Let me go ahead and go back on over here. Okay, I see State Road 20. And I have a camera here right in town. I don't know if how much we're gonna see on this. Things are shaking some, but probably gonna cross north of this on the main road there. So let's pop this in now. Again, looking at things right now. That's just their areas being impacted this morning in the Panhandle. See the lights shaking there, traffic lights shaking a little bit. Again, still watching things. Let's get up there a little. I'm just kind of checking here. So I want to see, maybe we'll get a crossing even. Again, there's your debris signature. It would seem it doesn't look as nasty as it's been, but yeah, I mean, you're getting a lot of wind possibly around Fountain. So let's get some cameras further up then. I'm just trying to effort things here in the weather center. This will be the next closest camera. I see a lot of flashes. Again, it's hard to see exactly what they are, but this is pointed southeast and not directly at it, but watching things carefully. Again, trying to give you the latest. I'm going to go ahead and pull out of this shot. See if I can get a shot further up, because if we can get pointed right at it, that would really help. Because that one's pointed south. I don't know if that'll have anything. Don't really see much on there. Okay. This one's pointed northeast. So not quite where we want to go yet. I'm just looking through the cameras here. It's a one-man band, so can't have somebody in the back watching them all. I have to kind of watch them as I'm talking. Move a lot of different things around. A lot of moving parts here. But you see Fountain really potentially in the path here. That's in Bay County in the Florida Panhandle. This is a confirmed tornadic scenario. Again, no local warnings yet, but that's probably going to change here pretty soon. So, again, just continuing to watch. And no local watches either, but again, probably going to change soon here. As we're looking at that, we're looking at this storm toward the north. And again, the tornadic accent up here. That's going to move into southwest Georgia, whatever that is there. Whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning situation or a tornado situation or significant weather advisory, that's going to move into southwest Georgia there soon. And then this is looking strong off Fort Rucker, but that's higher up. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a newest scan on this. If I can, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull that in. I don't see anything coming in that regard right now, though. Just effort in everything that I can. Again, a very volatile situation here this morning. Now, that's been about 1 minute ago in the other mode, but okay, they're going radar indicated now 9 miles east of Dothan, so that's a little bit of good news, down a little on that. It's still 6:15 Central, so that's only 10 minutes. So what we're going to do here, that looks like it's weakening a little. Still could hit Fountain, folks. Got to take us out to there. Maybe the only chance we have all day here, the way things are going. And I know Fountain could get hit. Florida 511 has those cameras if somehow it captures that live. I want to reset things so our local viewers are aware that we're covering a local issue, not something further out. So, okay, we're going to jump off here for a few minutes. Not going to be long. I can't imagine it being too long here. I'm going to probably have local warnings, if not local tornado warnings here soon. If it's a tornado warning, we have to be on. So if a thunderstorm warning situation still requiring coverage here, more than likely in this type of setup. So, okay, keep it tuned to Cloud Weather. We'll be back soon on the different platforms. For now, thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me. Stay safe, as we're seeing a new tornado watch now. Okay, it just popped into our system. So every time we want to wrap, getting new information, but this new tornado watch now coming out preliminarily does include some of the Jacksonville CWA, and it goes out until 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have more on that here soon, but Tallahassee's got to be included. Stay tuned. Stay safe. There's the new information. Tornado warning continuing for Bay, Calhoun, Jackson, Washington. Also downgraded the radar indicator, but still a problem. But neither one confirmed at the moment. But there's your new tornado watch. Tornadoes possible and close to the watch area through 2 o'clock. That's 19Z there, doing the time conversion this time of year. That includes areas all the way out to Lake City and Waycross. So, but Tallahassee, Albany, Bainbridge, Thomasville, all under this. We'll be back here shortly with more.